So we're at that time of year where it's the end of the year and we're starting to reflect back on what we've done. I mean, even Spotify gives us, here was your 2024, right? So we're looking back at what this year did, right? What did we do this year? What did we accomplish? What did we not accomplish? That's always kind of a painful subject for me. And then we're looking forward for 2025 and where do we want to go? And I wanted to talk a little bit today about that process because it's really, really important. So as I look back over this year, now for long-time listeners, you know that I journal basically every day, and part of that is writing down what I want to do today. I use the bullet journal method, which if you are not familiar, bullet journal method, amazing stuff. I tried journaling for a long, long time, and it wasn't until I found that method that I actually did it pretty consistently. But part of that is writing down, here's what I want to accomplish today, kind of here's my goals, if you will, and you do that kind of moving forward month to month. And it's interesting that part of my process, you'll see back here on the bookshelf, all of those little brown books back here, those are my journals from the last 10 years, essentially. And I will read through those at the end of the year. Usually the week between Christmas and New Year's, it's kind of a time where work is down. A lot of people are not doing huge amounts of stuff. That's my time for reflection. And one of the things that I always look for when I'm going through that are what are the things that are still on my to-do list, still on my wish list that haven't been done yet? What are the items on my bucket list that haven't been done? And I want to ask myself why. Why aren't those things completed? It might be that they're not that important. It might be that, other things have been more important, right? It might be that they're too far forward, right? And that's fine. There are some things that are beyond a year or two kind of goals. And so as we reach this time of year, I always start looking at how do I create a personal development plan for the next year, right? And, I have a problem with New Year's resolutions. Most New Year's resolutions are gone by January 5th to the 10th, right? It's like a week to 2 weeks is usually about how long most of them last. But if we can come up with a plan for here's what I want to do for the next year, and using what happened in the previous year as kind of context of what are the things we wanted to do that we didn't, and what were the things that got in our way? And that's the really important question. Because the challenge is in my past, I would look back at all of the things that I had not done in this past year, and I would beat myself bloody because why didn't you do that? You stupid, lazy bum, right? That was the inner talk that was happening for me. It was all the things that I wanted to do and didn't, and somehow I was the problem, and I'm just, it's because I'm lazy, it's because I blah, 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 right? Just beating myself up. The reality is that we all have things that keep us from doing what we really want to do, right? And most of that is in here. It's in our minds. It's internal. So if we can look back and see, I really wanted to do whatever. I really wanted to get my pilot's license. I really wanted to have 100,000 people in my programs in my online community. right? I really wanted to have touched 1,000 people in a in a real way. I didn't do that this year. Now let's look at why. And it always comes back to a belief issue. It's that I, for whatever reason, didn't think that I was worthy, or actually, it's pretty much usually that. There are other things that happen. You look at like 2020 with the pandemic. Lots of really juicy excuses in that year, but we're not there anymore, right? And so what are the things that have gotten in our way? And I find for me, it's usually myself. Okay. So what can I do? And that's where creating this personal development plan, it's important to look back. Usually I'm not a big person for looking back and, oh, poor me, here's all the shit I did wrong, right? I want to use that as reference material. I want to use that as context for what I'm going to be doing going forward, right? Because what I don't want to do is, it's okay to make a mistake. This is what I tell people at work. This is what I tell people in my organization. I'm perfectly okay with you making a mistake. In fact, it makes me excited that you make a mistake. As long as you don't make the same mistake over and over again. Right? So, let's look back at our 2024. Let's look back at the things that didn't work out well for us. And how and how do we change that for 2025? What are the systems that we need to put into place? What are the guardrails that we need to give ourselves? Who do we need to bring into our world to help us achieve what we want to achieve? We all have strengths and we all have weaknesses. And I had a mentor long ago that told me, don't worry about your weaknesses. Focus on your strengths. Outsource your weaknesses and build on your strengths. So who do we need to bring in? What technology do we need to bring in? Right now, I'm using AI and I'm leveraging the hell out of it to cover for my weaknesses, right? And that's why I do my AI challenges, right? To help people find, here's how you can use technology to overcome some of these issues. But I get ahead of myself. So look back. What are the things that you've done that have not served you? Where are the weak points in your strategy? And who or what can you get to fill those weak points? And you focus on your strategy and what's really good for you. Right? One of the things that I'm really good at is what I'm doing right now. It's talking. It's coming. I had basically a one-line prompt for this episode, right? And I love talking about this stuff. I love talking about technology. This is what gets me excited, is being able to connect with you, my listener, and say, here's the stupid shit I've done. Don't do it, right? That's what I'm good at. What I'm not great at is putting together the blog post and the email and, all of the administrative stuff that's around having a podcast. I'm leveraging AI for most of that, and then my team for the rest. And so what I've gone a long time around this, but what are you good at and what has gotten in your way in the past, right? And let's take the things that have gotten in the way in the past, and what are the things that we're going to do to overcome those shortcomings? Who is it? that's going to help you? What technology is it that's going to help you? What system is it that's going to help you? Maybe it's something as simple as a calendar on the wall where you're marking down, the don't break the chain, where you're marking it out. Maybe that's enough of a system to help you overcome your challenges. Maybe it's AI. Maybe it's getting a virtual assistant. Maybe it's getting an accountability partner. Maybe it's hiring a coach. Maybe it's getting a business partner. I don't know what it is for you. But if you don't make any changes, 2025 is going to look a lot like 2024, which I guess is going to look a lot for you like 2023 did and 2022 and etc. I can go back into my journals there and find things from, 10 years ago that are some of the same challenges. It's because that's my weak spot. And I'm now finding ways to systematize around that. So that's what I would tell you. Find a way, create your personal development plan. Over this next week, I'm going to be going a lot deeper into this. I'm almost done writing an ebook on creating your personal development plan, talking about my 3 levels of goals, a lot about the atomic triad. So be on the lookout for that. I've already gone 10 minutes in today, and that was originally what I was going to talk about. So look for that tomorrow. But understand that there are things that we wish we had done this past year, things that we want to do this year going forward. And in order to get those things done and do more than that for 2025, we need to handle the challenges that the things that tripped us up in 2024. We need to figure out a way around them. And it is not by you trying harder. I'm going to have more willpower. Willpower sucks. Willpower fades. It doesn't work. Having a set purpose and creating systems that will lead you to success, that's what works. Willpower is great for short bursts. You need to have consistency, and you need to have a system in place to help you overcome your shortcomings. Simple as that. So I want to help you find that. That's what I'm doing for myself, right? There are things that I wanted to accomplish in 2024 that I did not, right? I'm fixing that for 2025. And there will be things when I get to the end of 2025, as wonderful as this year's going to be, that I will look back and go, man, I wish I had, right? It's an iterative process. We grow slowly. So look back, not with shame. Look back, not with disgust. Look back with consideration. Look back with compassion. Here's where I had struggles, and know that it's okay. That we all have struggles. Every human being has a struggle, has a weakness in some area or another. So let's look back, find where are my weaknesses, and how can I create a system that will fix that weakness, that will make up for it, that can be the strength that turns that into a strength, so that the things that I am good at, that I can take those to the stars. Because that's the magic. Get support, systems, support other people to help where you're weak, and turn your strengths into mastery. That is how we live our life to the third power. So be on the lookout this week. We're going to go deeper into our personal development plan. Going to talk a lot about goals and the 3 levels of goals. SMART goals are not all there are. There's a lot more to it than just 1 level of SMART goals. There's 3 levels of goals. All right. Until then, my friends, Keep living your life to the third power. Create your personal development plan. Look back at yourself and give yourself grace for the challenges you have. And let's look forward with hope and with creating a system that's going to take us to the stars. All right. Till tomorrow, my friends.